Both guys deserve a round of applause. Khamzat Chimaev, he dug deep. That really impressed me. It did, because I thought he was going to quit in the second round. When I say quit, I don't mean just give up. I just meant internally, slowly allow Sean to take over the fight, because, you know, it looked like that's exactly what was happening.
I mean, again, he's a savage, you guys. I was hitting him with shots. Like, I mean, look how swollen my hand's swollen. Like, he would just eat it and come forward. Like, the guy was a savage, and he was willing to die for what he wanted. You know, he's a savage. Yeah.
Sean Strickland fought a very, very good fight tonight in order to beat Khamzat Chimaev, and honestly, it is a blueprint for if you're going to fight Khamzat. The deal is this, though. Khamzat Chimaev didn't fight bad. He did not fight bad. Sean Strickland just fought better. You know, that's why you can't pick MMA. It's crazy.
Yeah, so fight went exactly the way I thought it would. Great fight by Strickland. Like I said, it's so hard to keep that man on the ground. He is incredibly tough to hold down, and he made Khamzat tired, and that's exactly what happened. I knew, and like I said, in the stand-up, you just won't be able to hang with him. So congratulations, I guess this makes me world champion again.
With all that being said, Sean Strickland did an amazing job keeping his composure, keeping it in drive, staying just consistent with the jab and the cross, and it paid massive dividends. He's able to beat an undefeated fighter in Khamzat Chimaev, who is considered the boogeyman of this division.
Let's just take a moment to just say how incredible it is to see how far Khamzat Chimaev has gotten on essentially training himself. Like, a big key factor here is there's never any change in the way that this man fights. There's never any blend of the styles, and I think this is something that hurts Khamzat Chimaev. And I think this is something now, it's, hey, with the fight with Gilbert Burns, with the fight with myself, and now with this fight with Sean Strickland, I think there's a apparent blueprint for someone like Khamzat Chimaev. It's crazy how far he's gotten. And I mean, I'm impressed by how far he's gotten by just training himself. Because in there, in between rounds, who's his coach?
Guys, don't forget, Khamzat prepared in Big Bear for this. That's altitude training. Okay, Big Bear is a famous California camp. You're up in altitude. Many great boxers, De La Hoya, Mayweather, they all did their training camps there. Many famous fighters. Big Bear, that does come train in Big Bear. It enhances your cardiovascular ability. Like, literally, Khamzat did everything he could to maximize his conditioning, and his conditioning looked worse than ever. That's why I'm saying there is some legitimacy to the weight cut speculation.
He's either overtrained, okay, and then the Cub Swanson said it by training with Sam Calavita at the garage, that a Cub goes, I've never won a fight training with him. That's why I stopped training with him. And that's where Arman and that's where Khamzat have been training since they've been training down at the Jackson podcast. So that being said, either he's overtrained.
Maybe training at a podcast studio was the first problem.
No, I mean, he brought in some good guys. Brennan Allen, Khalil Roundtree,
After
Luke
camp
Rockhold.
was in a garage. Like, maybe you should be at a real gym.
It bothered me that they kept touching gloves. I think that was a little bit psychological. I don't know that it was quite the makeup as it was, hey, I'm going to try to throw my opponent off. But when both guys start doing it, all of a sudden you've touched gloves 6 and 7 times. Yeah, you kind of buried the hatchet. Before the fight even started, and Chimaev comes over the top and he even says something. He makes a face and even says, hey, friend, you know, hey, let's have a good match here.
Hey, kayfabe only, Chimaev.
Yeah,
you know?
and then Sean accepted it, and I felt that. I'm glad that you saw that, you bring that up, because, yeah, it started to kind of go down from there. And, you know, if these guys want to make up, sometimes that's what sport is. You go out, you fight with somebody, and you earn their respect. And if they did that, good for them. But to act as though me as a fan wasn't a little disappointed and confused.
Right.
I mean, I bought into this all week and how mad they are, and then all of a sudden at the last moment, they're trying to make up. Yeah, I was let down.
Sean Strickland, man. No one gave him a chance, lad. 2 of the biggest upsets in title fight history, lad. Chimaev and Adesanya. Strickland's the man. Yes, lad. Give Khamzat his due, putting the belt on him and that. Very good sport, lad.
I had also heard that there was some thoughts and some concerns and maybe some thinking that Khamzat's crew were looking to to extend the fight after the fight. You know, like they were pissed at what Sean had said, and you know, there was the potential of, you know, something we've seen in the past of like people fighting after the fight. Right. And maybe Khamzat was aware of that. And so after the fight, he was very like, his gestures showed that like, hey, this beef is over, so that his team didn't come in.
Sometimes like fighting, you know, you have to hate the person you're fighting, just how it goes sometimes, but class act, you know, I mean, even moving forward, you know, I do kind of regret, like, you know, attacking his faith. That's I have so many Muslim friends that I have to go and see in the gym next week and be like, hey, man, sorry, dude. Like, my friend Saudi Sai, PFL champ, one of the greatest men I know, father, husband, great man. So it's like, sometimes, you know, in these fights, you got to sell them. But at the end of the day, man, we're all just human, just trying to get through.
I highly doubt that we have a new and improved Sean Strickland. I'll believe it when I see it, but I'm not buying it. What they both went through leading up to this fight, I think that night, you know, all the emotion comes out after the win, and yes, he broke his nose in the first round. I think that was. I think. Well, we saw that much of Sean Strickland last. I don't know how long that will last. If that's where he's headed now, nobody's happier than me. I promise you that. But I'm not buying it.
Sean Strickland doesn't give up on Sean Strickland. I have a feeling when Sean was growing up that his parents didn't make him feel like he could go and do anything. I have a feeling that his teachers weren't like, hey, you could be president of the United States, that he didn't have coaches that were grabbing him and recruiting him to teams and saying, you're special and I have a feeling he had to do this on his own. And he never gives up on himself. He was a 4.5-to-1 underdog. But he was a 6-to-1 underdog the night he beat Adesanya. So at this point, we simply need to ask ourselves one thing, which is just where do we go from here?
Where you could make the argument that Imavov and Strickland would be a great fight. The first fight was great, although Strickland did win a decision, unanimous decision. Yep. But I feel like the rematch is what the fans are going to want, and that's what I'm going to want.
But if you go back and watch the Strickland and Du Plessis fight, right, he got ragdolled, right? And then, you know, you see what Du Plessis, he got ragdolled by Khamzat.
Right.
So everybody felt like, all right, we know that Khamzat's going to beat Strickland. That's what makes this game so fun and one of the fastest growing sports in the world, because you just never know. It is literally a coin toss. And to be able to see this guy go out there and do what he does best, it's just awesome. And he says he wasn't confident, but this dude was confident stepping out there. You could see it in his face, how calm he was. His strikes landed, and he got the win, got the dub.
I know a lot of you mad at me because I'm a not a fortune teller, truth teller. You know, a lot of the body language, a lot of the things in the fights I had seen with like Usman and Gilbert led me also to believe that Sean was going to be a nightmare matchup for him. And I knew Sean is very hard to hold down. And I had a lot of insider information of Strickland. So I kind of felt like I knew a lot of things about Strickland. Like I knew how hard it is to control this guy, to stay on top of him. So that was a big reason why I was betting against him against Chimaev, because Chimaev is phenomenal with the wrestling. But what I've always said is that he doesn't have that grit. We
all kind of have this voice in our head. They're like, oh man, you don't think there's a voice in my head that sees a big angry Chechen with a beard and you see him just run through everybody in the division. You don't think that I have a voice in my head saying, oh shit. Like we all have that voice. You just sack the fuck up and you be the man you want to be. Like I'm always in the future, you know. Like I get home, it's like I told my girl before going into this fight, I was like, well, babe, it's going to be a real hard fight. I don't know what's going to happen, but at the end of the day, man, I come back to my wife, my family, I got a house, got a couple dogs. So it's like, no matter what, man, life is good, dude. Life is good, and then you're dead, so just enjoy every moment of it.
You might be watching this, and you might be like, yeah, I love Sean's shtick. I don't. I do not like his shtick. The shit he says drives me insane. I just don't like it. But I'm not talking to I don't need to like convince you to give this guy his props. I'm talking to the people who might be reluctant to. You have to. to add your name to the list of the Velasquezes and the Aldos and the St. Pierres and the Coutures and the Izzies and the Jans and the Dillashaws, to put your name and the Shevchenkos in the pantheon of that, beating the second best middleweight of all time and then beating the boogeyman, dude, like, you gotta give it fucking up. You gotta give it up. That is unmistakable championship pedigree.
I sparred Sean Strickland, and he's very awkward in the stand-up. Very like offbeat, unorthodox timing. I would have thought Khamzat would have won this fight quite easily, to be honest. But I was so wrong. Sean's takedown defense at this stage is still really good. Did not expect that.
But deserved, right?
Could have gone either way for me, but I think when it just showed the stats, the significant strikes, it was like 90-something Khamzat, 133 Sean Strickland. I know it doesn't always come down to stats, but that was a good fight, man. That was good.
It shocked everybody that Khamzat was pulling guard twice in round 2. And like I said, I know a lot of you guys came here tonight because you guys wanted to hear me say, oh, that basically you want to throw something in my face about the Khamzat being a Khamzat hater. I'm not a hater, man. I thought he fought a damn good fight. He dug through when you could tell he was exhausted in round 2. But like I said, I scored it for Khamzat, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't so close that if Sean won, which Sean did win, I'm not mad.
Guys, I could see this fight was so tight. This fight was so close. I think it came down to round 5, and I could tell you that I could see it both ways. I know people are going to tell me it was a robbery. I know some people are going to say, no, it was a fair decision. I could see it both ways, but I could tell you that I think Sean did more damage in round 5, and damage is the #1 criteria. Okay, so it was a close fight, guys. It was a close fight. Sean, in my opinion, edged it out. It was a bloodbath. It was a tooth and nail type fight.
Because I actually saw this at I had an appearance, so they were playing music, so I was able to watch the fight without sound. And typically, when you watch a fight without sound, you're able to legit see who won, bro. Because sometimes you don't you exit out the judges. You exit out the commentary. You exit out the fans. You exit out the whole 9. But man, overall, Kamaru, bro, I thought Khamzat actually won this fight. And again, I was going for Strickland, bro. And I'm happy for Strickland.
Round 3, 4, and 5, Khamzat Chimaev really got on the gas and started backing up Sean Strickland. But if you know scoring, octagon control is no longer a scoring criteria when judging fights. It's damage, duration, and domination. Dominance, sorry. Khamzat showed control when he got him down. But even with the 6 minutes of top time, Sean still outlanded him by 50 strikes.
I mean, I was keeping track every time he hit me with a punch. There wasn't many, but every time he hit me, I was like, for every punch he landed on me, I landed like 5. So, yeah.
Well, awesome.
And then even when he was on my back, I mean, if you go back and look, I was landing more strikes than he was while he was on my back.
No, man, I couldn't be happier for Sean. He did all the work, man. He did everything he was supposed to do. Guy busted his ass all camp. Thankfully, we had a very similar style matchup with Fluffy Hernandez that was going to be a lot of grappling. So we almost got 2 back-to-back camps that were grappling inside of it. So, man, just hats off to the team and the rest of the boys, and couldn't be happier for them.